Hello and welcome back to my Saturday night movie night. This is me, Krista's Beauty, here with another slasher scary movie leading all the way up to Halloween. Today's spooky movie will be none other than 28 Days Later, one of the best, I think, interpretations of zombies and whatnot. Before we get in with the movie chat, stay along. I will be doing more of these fun movie talks going up to the fall and Halloween season. If you are new here on Instagram, go ahead and follow along on my Krista's Beauty Instagram account for these videos as well as reels and photos throughout the week. If you are new here on YouTube and this is your first time seeing me, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and you will be on for this wild spooky ride. All right, let's go ahead with the spooky. So going in here, 28 Days Later came out in 2002. It also has a really great sequel to it, 28 Weeks Later. The basic premise of it is zombies or something like zombies, an outbreak of an infection going out into the world, and you start 28 days later. After the infection, you have a guy, Cillian Murphy plays, waking up in the hospital. He's, I guess, been there, passed out, unconscious, whatever, for 28 days. He goes around and there's no one there. No! Nothing's around, no people at all. And then when he finally does come across people, they are not undead, but contaminated. And basically zombies, but running zombies, which is terrifying, covered in blood. It's just a very gruesome scene, but also really cool.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
He runs into people, and they're basically trying to survive this apocalypse into the world scenario, and they go through all kinds of crazy stuff. They eventually come across a family, a dad and his daughter. Eventually, the dad gets contaminated and they end up killing him while they're on their way to meet up with the military, who are trying to grab everyone together. And well, you think that's what they're doing, but they are kind of evil in their own way. So that's a basic plot summary of 28 Days Later for you. So a few fun facts here about the filming and just background of 28 Days Later. So they obviously had to, give like a only people in the world or left on the world, only survivors feel. So they had to, for traffic and things like that, when they were filming, they had to be the only ones on the road. And what they did was they would have police kind of help them, and they would try and be on like the very least busy times on the road, and they would have police kind of help block people from coming so they could try and squeeze in and film without anyone passing by as much as they could. Same deal kind of goes for at the beginning when he wakes up in that hospital. They needed to have that area shut off, and I think they even let them work in that hospital film on the weekends and kind of had that area closed to them, and the money that they kind of used to rent out that space went towards that hospital, so that's an added benefit for them. Now this one is really, really interesting. So the celebratory scenes between like the four main characters of the movie, Cillian Murphy, a girl he kind of met up with while trying to survive, and then the daughter and father, they are all kind of having celebratory scenes together, kind of out, getting food. And there's one particular scene that they're kind of out having like a picnic of like a feast, because it's the first time they were trying to like make the best out of a bad situation, and they kind of have a real family element.
Like a family.
Do you think they're infected?
No.
to their dynamic. But yeah, when they were filming that scene, it was actually, September the 11th, 2001, and they were trying to keep it together and, keep on filming what they could, even though that tragedy was happening right at that time. That is so crazy. So the violent rage virus that is, spreading rampant on basically these zombie-like characters in it, it all was inspired by the Ebola. So the harshness, visuals of the film was all done on purpose. They wanted it to be filmed with, very poor filming quality, and you can tell, like, it's a very, very gritty looking movie, but that almost works for it better. It has a very artistic sort of feel to it. So like most horror films often do, there is, an underlying social commentary on kind of the human condition at this point, and the infected, because it is a rage-based virus. The reasons for putting so much focus on that, it's kind of to criticize our society, which is doing very little, if nothing, to deal with a culture of anger and violence. If anything, we're just kind of feeding into that even more so. I mean, even now, especially today, we're being fear-mongered and told how to feel about things. It's always a fear, anger, base to everything right now. So to make these zombies basically more intimidating, they cast athletes as the zombies. So, you could see kind of a sense of power, more like a sense of fear of running from them, because, they are definitely booking it.
I can see them, they're coming! Ah!
So, I'm never going to be able to say his name right. I'm really bad at this. The guy who played Obi-Wan in Star Wars, Ewan McGregor, was actually the first choice for the main role. And when that didn't work out, they actually wanted Ryan Gosling to be the next choice, but he had a scheduling conflict. Isn't that weird? And this is like the movie, I think, that, ascended Cillian Murphy's career and kind of, got him definitely into Batman Begins after this, so that's pretty crazy. So the, I guess, original alternate ending was that you saw Cillian Murphy's character die in an old abandoned hospital. But it was reshot because, test audiences found it too downbeat. Basically, what I think of this film and how I feel about really both of them, I saw 28 Days Later, again, with my Saturday night movie nights with my brother back when I was in high school, I think probably like a freshman or so that spring, and I was still definitely at that age where I got really scared very easily by things, especially films, because I just, I hadn't developed that palate yet, so many things would just scare me and keep me up at night, and I'd have to keep the light on. So I was definitely like that after seeing this one, because this is one of, again, the few horror films I had seen, and just those zombies running after you, and I don't know, it's just so realistic and raw, and it's just, it really is, I think, one of the best, that is most likely what would happen if this sort of, contagion spread like that. So, as always, let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you like 28 Days Later? What about Weeks Later? I know a lot of people hate that. Thank you so much for watching another week of Saturday night movie nights. I will see you all next week with another spooky one. Stay spooky.